Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit EU. We have no Diggity versus Danish Bears or Danish Bears, whoever or however you pronounce them. I'm Lysander, going to be joined here by Danelie. I always get a name wrong. I think I got it right this time, but
You kind of got it half.
I kind of got half of
half
it's a
points.
thing now. I think for our cast, for me to get it wrong once or twice per cast. But yeah, as I was mentioning, this is a EU qualifier. It's a single elim, so it's very cutthroat. Loser goes home. The good news is you have a BO3 to sort it out, so no diggity. I think everyone, could be rooting for them here, since we do have favorites like Syndron and Era. And of course, Quakefire, Yapzor, and Keizu, not to be forgotten either. But everyone always looks to the martyr Syndron. I think that's when no diggity draw their power. Syndron feeds, they win. And Danish Bears, well, you're telling me that they just had a BO3 before this game. And
Yep.
apart from that, we don't really usually hear from them. Once in a while they pop up, but what can you tell me about them? Is there anything special? I recognize Rise.
There's not really that much I can talk about for Danish Bears. It's been a really long time since I've actually casted their games, but from all that I've been told, because Mike Loris, one of my friends, casting the series, they just lost 2-0 to Spider Pigs. I don't know who Spider Pigs are, but to lose a best of 3 series right off the bat and then coming into another best of 3 series, like, you're not going to be feeling too good, especially when you're going up against a powerhouse team such as No Diggity. Not to say that Danish Bears are going to be that bad off, but you can tell they're not going to be favorites at all.
Definitely not going to be favorites, but like we mentioned, it's a BO3, so things can happen. You know, single elimination, desperation gets in. But I see something fun. And even if it is going to be a one-sided stomp-ish, we usually see fun drafts coming out from one-sided matchups, you know. At least I think so.
You think so?
I trust Syndron. I trust Syndron.
5 seconds
just trust in Cinder, and I think he'll be okay. I would agree with you there, though. Definitely, like, you're gonna definitely see some heroes, not heroes, but teams maybe pulling out something different. So we'll see if anyone decides to do so, or if we're going to just be seeing some standard stuff. So let's take a look at our draft so far. We've already got a Darkseer as well as a Slardar picked up for No Diggity. This is pretty standard pickups for them. No Diggity, lately they have been favoring a lot of Slardars, so this is definitely going to be a comfort pick for them. Whereas for Danish Bears, I'm not really sure what's considered comforting for them, but Alchemist and Night Stalker right off the bat, they've got a lot of heroes that can sort of run at people if they want to.
Yeah, Alchemist is actually a No Diggity favorite, so to speak, as well. I've seen them run it a few times. You know, it kind of is the hero they go to. It feels like, okay, when all
10 seconds remaining.
When it all comes to something, you know, we go for Alchemist. It'll be the hero that pumps out team full of Aghanim's or farm up those items and find that nice timing for the Alchemist to slide in a victory there. And I think that's what Danish Bears might be looking to do, you know, make some space for the NS and then have that elk farm up a nice nice set of items and then push for a timing window. And I like this AA ban, actually.
Knowing No Diggity, though, especially with the kind of heroes that they have now, I feel like they're gonna apply pressure to the Alch. Like, you're not just gonna let an Alchemist farm away for like 10 to 15 minutes. You know what's gonna happen if that happens. So for Danish Bears, I would definitely be looking to see what kind of heroes they're going to use to act as some sort of buffer or something that can provide time to give this Alchemist a little bit of space. Unless Danish Bears pulls out something different and maybe goes for the combat Alchemist that we very rarely see. Because it's still, I would say it's still relatively early in the patch. We can see anything. The meta is still developing as we speak. We haven't actually found flat ground as of yet. It's still quite bumpy.
Yeah, when you pick Alchemist, you kind of initiate a sort of target war, or rather a cat and mouse game, where you start off as the mouse running away, trying to make space for your Alchemist, and then later on you become the cat and you turn around on people. So No Diggity can fight this a couple of ways, but by picking up the Slaughter, they actually open up a possible strategy for them to fight the Alchemist head on, because amplified damage can really take away a huge chunk of the Alchemist tankiness, which is often the major problem when dealing with this hero, having 2 to 3 items above your carry. You know, that's the advantage she has over other carries because he gets them faster, he reaches that power level faster. But if you have the amplified damage, you can even the scales a little bit, so we might see No Diggity try and fight this Alchemist, so to speak. I don't know how to explain this, you can try and punish his team before he reaches that farm, or you can try and fight him head on with a TA or a Sven, something that does huge burst damage to take him out.
Definitely, I could see that happening. So Earth Spirit for the third pickup here for No Diggity, so they've got their Roma for this game. They definitely want to apply pressure on the Alchemist. Alch we normally is going to be seeing in the mid lane, so with an Earth Spirit, all of a sudden Alch is not going to be feeling too safe in that lane. And now I'm rather curious if Danish Bears considers picking up a potential mid support that can sort of babysit him for the first initial levels and then can sort of let him go. Because if they're just going to throw the Alch mid and then there's an Earth Spirit +1, you know the Alch is not going to have the best time up until he gets that level 4 or 5 couple points into Acid Spray.
We are looking at an era slaughter, are we? Because there's a Dox here, so the offlane is taken. So if era is the position 1 slaughter, then No Diggity might be going for a, what do you call it? Mid-game powerhouse kind of draft where they try and shut down the Alchemist in the early stage and just snowball out of control before the Alchemist gets anything done. And you can see this Shadow Shaman, they want to close this game out fast. That's Syndren's hero right there. And yeah, Shadow Shaman, a fragile creature. We'll see how he deals with the NS Alchemist of Bane. And I think the highlight of this match would be or some side bets that we might be able to take here would be, would Syndren have a positive KDR?
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, let's throw it down now. Will Syndren have a positive KDR this game?
I am going to be positive and say yes.
Alright, so I will have to be the devil's advocate and say no. Alright, so Shadow Shaman...
No. When we do this, you need to be 100% on this. Do you believe he's not going to have...
I believe he's going to feed.
You believe he's going to feed, okay.
And it's going to be for a good cause. He's going to throw down wards, ward trap a Gyrocopter or an Alchemist. We'll all cheer for him as he goes down.
Reserve time.
But yeah, with Gyrocopter, Alchemist, Night Stalker, I don't see Shadow Shaman mortality rates being too high. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, Syndren's gonna have a negative. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be for a good cause.
For a good cause. We'll see if it's gonna be for a good cause, because sometimes doing things with a good cause isn't going to help you. So we're looking for our final pickups here. So we've got Danish Bears with the Alchemist going into the mid lane, Gyrocopter going safe lane. So would you think it's going to be an off lane Night Stalker, or would this be that jungling position 4 Night Stalker that we occasionally see?
It could be both.
Could be
so
both.
Far.
Radiant team
I think they might want to look to having the Night Stalker on their tri lane to deal with the DS. Bane is good alone because of Nightmare shutting down Surge, and Gyrocopter is able to burst him down with the help of Nightmare.
Remaining.
Once the Surge is countered, then Gyrocopter can deal with the Darkseer. So No Diggity will have quite a challenge for their Darkseer player. But yeah, I feel like it's very hard to tell if the NS will be off lane or not. But maybe they want to put someone more counter pushy again in that off lane, because we have that Shadow Shaman, which shows that they want to put some pressure on that tower. So Night Stalker is not the best hero for this. So maybe someone with wave clear might be a better suited off lane, but it could still be an NS if they want to rack up his levels quick for nighttime gank.
Remaining.
But we still haven't seen the mid from No Diggity, so what do you think? Tinker or something?
Tinker up against an Alch?
Reserve time.
I suppose if the Earth Spirit support would be okay. Jakiro last pick for Danish Bears
So it's
though.
offlane NS then.
Unless it's an offlane Jakiro.
It could. It has been done before, I think.
It has?
Yeah, it has been done before.
Although the results have been iffy. Offlane Jakiro, it's such a hit and
10
miss
seconds remaining.
offlane, and unfortunately Jakiro, he's not like the standard offlanes that we currently see. He just doesn't scale on the same level as our normal offlaners. He really falls off in terms of usability, so I'm not going to say it's a terrible Jakiro game, but I can see the idea behind this. Like, you were talking about it before. They've got the wave clear now with the Jakiro, and it also helps them push because they've got the liquid fire to work with too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, having a Jakiro on your tri lane will not have the levels in his AoE to clear out the waves and stop pushes, so it it's possible we could be seeing a 2-1-2 as well. Oh, alright, so bringing some more carry potential here. We're gonna pick up a Ember Spirit here for Quakefar. And I like it because for a moment I was quite worried because they're putting a lot on a Era Slaughter. And Slaughter, although a powerful hero, does not match up to Alchemist and Gyrocopter in the late game or even the mid game if things do not go smooth for you during the laning phase. So I think picking up this late game security, Ember Spirit can fight in the early game but can also transition into a really powerful late game carry. So and this mobility is going to be quite challenging for Danish bears to deal with if once he gets say a Lincoln Sphere. I think just a quick Lincoln Sphere will make it really troublesome for them to deal with.
I could really see the Ember Spirit being a problem just because of the lack of solid disables to say
Prepare
for
for
Danish bears. It's
battle.
not like they have a Rubik Lift to work with, that instant cast disable. So it's going to be a really good game for Quayfar. He could definitely just play very loose and fast if he really wants to. But it's up to him. I'm actually rather curious now if maybe no Diggity for the laning phase. Do they maybe consider out-greeding Danish bears?
Oh, we'll see. Let me get the overlay right. I think I'm using the wrong HUD. There we go. It does get a little bit funky with the overlays.
Shout out to Danny the dog.
Alright, so we'll run through the teams very quickly. We have no Diggity on the Dire side. We have Quakefa on the Ember Spirit. We have Syndran, Shadow Shaman. Look very, very bad there. We have Keizu on his Dark Seer. We have Yepzo on his Earth Spirit. We have Era on his Slaughter, heading up top alone for that top rune. And on the Radiant side, we have Danish Badge, DB, Hasted Joe, and that's how we call him, Night Stalker. We have Ping, Vinsik on the Alchemist. We have Noya on the Jakiro. We have Ace on the Gyrocopter, and we have Rise on the Bane Elemental. So Yepzo, gonna be chased out here by the Jakiros and make sure he doesn't get any sneaky steals. And Alchemist aside, now that bounty runes do not give EXP, do you think it's better for some mids to not go for it and go for a body block instead on that mid lane?
It depends if it's a mid that wants a bottle or not. If it's a mid that really doesn't want that quick bottle or doesn't want the quick goal, they can prioritize the body block, but why would you have to do it if you can have the supports body block for you instead? So it's not like it's a terrible thing, but the nerf definitely has changed the impact of that bounty. Like, if you don't get it, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Oh man, Rise tried to go for the Sentry D-Ward there, but this Sentry, very good at juking himself, hides behind the flag, so he will not be caught out. Wow, that's a very fast roll. So Yepzo and Keizu are going to be dual laning it up here, so we do see a 2-1-2 here, realizing that the Night Stalker isn't much of a threat. Top lane decide to add more pressure to this Gyrocopter, and we haven't actually talked about this, but Jakiro Night Stalker on the top lane as well, so seeing the similar strategies coming up from both EU teams. Applying pressure on both safe lanes, giving the carry players on both sides a little bit to sweat about.
It's actually a really, really hard lane here for Era because you're going up against two really tanky heroes that aren't going to be very easy to take down, and if either Era or Syndran overstep their boundaries, they can definitely get killed off. You can't really scoff at what Noya as well as Joe can really do in this off lane. So if they can actually slow down the progression of the safe lane, this could be really good for them to actually transition into the mid game quite nicely and to apply some pressure onto No Diggity whilst making space for that out.
Oh, another roll, bottom lane, Rise. He might be biting up a little bit more than he can chew because a rock goes over from Kowlin, but there is no surge play right here, so Earth Spirit will not be getting any kills here, but Rise already dropping low. I do like the aggression coming up from Yep, so just really applying a lot of pressure. Rise taxing his Tangle count already at 2. And yeah, I think more aggression so far on that bottom lane compared to the bottom lane. NS and Jakiro, yes, they are scary, but they're only going to be scary versus, oh no, Syndran. I was about to talk about his Shadow Shaman. It's a 290 move speed or 280 move speed. There you go, Syndran's going to be first blood here. Night Stalker pounds him in the face, and well, we're starting off as a 0-1. But on the bright side, we do have Era getting a free wave to himself, so at least he will be securing those last hits. And yeah, that's why I say the Shadow Shaman's gonna have problems, because he's very susceptible to slows, being super fragile and having a below average move speed for a low level hero, a boostless hero, rather.
Down bottom though, Earth Spirit gets taken out by the Bane, and looks like Kezu's in trouble, and he may actually drop
Does he
here
have
if they've got
Nightmare?
some sort of disable.
Nah, there's
No,
no Nightmare
they
for this.
don't.
But Rise does have his Brain Sap in 2 seconds, but yeah, the Soul comes out and Rise thinks better of it. And well, there we go. We do lose the roster and the Earth Spirit, so already Danish Baz taking a 2-0 lead over No Diggity, keeping things interesting. For the underdog in this matchup, of course. And remember, for you guys just tuning in, this is a VO3 in the EU qualifiers for the Summit. And it's a single elimination, so loser goes home. So you really want to get this best of 3 well, played properly. So, not the best start for No Diggity.
Yeah, and if you also take a look at the CS as well, poor Cinderin in the top lane, who's probably going to be taken down as well. Rest in peace.
He's gonna try shock it up, but he's gonna take an ice ball to the face. And Night Stalker, we did mention, very, very tanky. One of the main challenges for Slaughter dealing with this NS before he gets his ultimate is, of course, that 6 base armor from the Batman. Very, very difficult to punch through. We'll have to go for the Jakiro if he's looking for weak spots. And, well, Synderen at 0-2 now, so not the best start for him. Really need to pick up those parachutes. You can really see how long he takes to walk from the fountain. Look at him.
I'm actually wondering if they consider moving Yapsaws into that top lane. He's actually going to kick that Rise. Oh, he really wanted that bounty.
Cheeky play.
Up top, poor Era's going to be taken down as well. This is a complete disaster in the top lane for No Diggity. It's just a complete ruffle stop by Neuer and Joe. They've done an absolutely exceptional job up here, just completely shutting down any sort of progression from No Diggity. They've got to do something about this. They can't just let a Night Stalker and Jakiro lane completely roll 2 of their heroes. And looks like they're going to lose Kezu as well.
Yeah, well, the Bane Elemental's Nightmare is really strong. Paired up with the Gyrocopter, it can really shut down that surge escape that Darkseers are so accustomed to, and makes it really, really hard for them to actually go into the lane. Because if they push out too far, Bane will just run Gyrocopter to start off with the Rocket Barrage, and then once they pop Surge, Nightmare comes in, shuts it down, and then before you know it, you're back at the well. And now, well, DB 5-0 over No Diggity.
For No Diggity,
Can't say you expected this going in.
No, absolutely not. I thought it was going to be a little more one-sided in favor of No Diggity, but this is a problem. Not to say that this is going to be the be-all, end-all. They can definitely come out of this slump. They're just going to find the opening to do so. The Absols did TP into the top lane to help out Era as well as Synderen, but unfortunately for them, Joe actually spotted him out. So it's not going to be any more of a surprise, as they are expecting this, even bringing in the Bane as well, hoping that they can use the Night Stalker as bait.
Yeah, well, he's laying down the Void Harassment. Synderen is reaching away from the side there on the left. He's gonna grab up that Night Stalker, but I think this is gonna be a third death for him. Era dropping very low as well. The Earth Spirit kicks off across, and Synderen will say, "Run, my friend. I will die for you." Oh, will he? He will just pour it out. All right, Synderen lives. 5-0 it is still, but no heroes lost, and Era will survive on 200 HP. And no boots for Era, actually. Just relying on the sprint for the mobility for now.
A little bit risky to do so, but considering how the lane has gone,
Radiant's
he's trying to make
middle
as much
tower
as he
is under
can in
attack.
terms of...
Oh, Yapso getting caught out. That's a killing spree on the Jakiro. This Jakiro is a very happy twin-head dragon, getting multiple kills there on that top lane. 6-0 now. Wow, what's going on? 3,500 gold in favor. I forgot to warn you. You know, you did tell me that No Diggity will be heavily favored this matchup, but I forgot to warn you. Whenever I cast games like this, things get interesting for some weird reason. But they're looking at Ace now in the bottom lane. So Keizu gonna reach out a little bit, maybe bait the helicopter in. But with that
Dire's
observer
top
ward,
tower is
and with
under
the
attack.
missing call middle from the Alchemist, Gyrocopter is gonna be playing it really safe. And Quakefire does have his ultimate. He is gonna put one Remnant in the back there and try and go in for it. He doesn't have the Sleight of Fist, but the TP support comes in right away. The Sleight of Fist is not available for Quakefire once again. There is still that Flame Guard. It's going to keep things interesting here. Ace is going to get barraged down. He's dropping real low. Quakefire having to jump away with that failed gank. And we have Synderen rotating in. He does have a pair of boots, so he will be moving at 330 now. There is an observer scouting behind the tower. Ace walks into vision range. Are they going to catch him out? Rise is very low, and so is Ace. This could be the comeback that Diggity are waiting for. The triple power load here from the Spirits. They will get it. Synderen gets a kill. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, they do get a good kill. It's a big kill as well. A Gyrocopter. This top tower, however, melting to the liquid fire, and Neuer and the Night Stalker will take it out. So, still, No Diggity have a lot to catch up with. 4,005 already behind in the goal.
They've got a lot to catch up with. Like, the way that
Radiant's
Danish
bottom
Bears have been
tower
playing
is
so
under
far, they've
attack.
made so much space for Pinvenchek. He's received no harassment his way. He is sitting on so much gold. He's sitting at 5.3k net worth as we speak. He's trying to farm up the Ancients, but a little bit too strong for him. No Diggity, they've got to sort of put their foot down, start
Radiant's
taking some
bottom
of these
tower
towers and
is
secure
under
that gold.
attack.
At least they'll grab this bottom
Radiant
tower. No one is
structures
here
are
for Danish
fortified.
Bears, so it's going to be a free grab. But they've got to start doing something to Pinvenchek, because he's been left
Radiant's bottom
unchecked
tower
at
has
all.
fallen.
Armlet, like, he is going to be on top of this Radiance at about 12 minutes if they don't touch him anytime soon.
And that's the main thing with the Alchemist. We talked about that cat and mouse game. Diggity haven't been a really good cat. And well, Ping, he is farming up those Ancients. Really happy about this. He does have that Armlet toggle available as well, and with that insane Alchemist regen, will be able to just best his Ancients without much sweat. And once you, like you mentioned, once that Radiance comes online, it's trouble, because this farm speed goes up, and there's your issue with the Blink Dagger cancels as well. And Slaughter, you already see that's what he's looking towards.
Oh,
And,
Kezu and Synderin.
Yeah,
This is not looking too
Syndrome will
good.
tank it. He'll say, "Run, my friends! You'll grab the Night Stalker." No, yeah, there's the Darkseer escapes, but Syndron will die for his team. The Ice Path just short. Will not catch out the Darkseer, but it will still leave Syndron in the dust. So 17 seconds on the sidelines. He pats his friend on the back and says, "You go forth, my friend. Farm more. Carry me." And DB, you're looking strong here.
They are looking absolutely monstrous. You take a look at the wards here for No Diggity so far. They've got 2 aggressive wards placed out. One that's spotting out Pinvenchek right now, and the other one just spotted out Ace on the Gyrocopter down bottom. But as we speak, there's no defensive wards for them, so they're not really able to see any of these Danish Bear ganks coming through. You also have to say that the contributing factor to this as well is because the Night Stalker Darkness. Like, the biggest thing is limiting this vision, and because No Diggity can't see anything, they're just so scared moving out onto the map, and they're so worried that they could just get dumped on and killed off from 100 to 0.
Lucky for him, it's daytime, so not be ganked, not now. We'll see how well Quakefire is doing. He is sitting at 4,000 net worth. He is rushing that boost of travel build, which does not work as well in early combat situations compared to the drums phase boost, of course. But it does allow you to be very greedy and farm a lot faster. And now they're actually going for a gank. It is a risky play, of course, going for a gank before he hits that boost of travel timing. Because he's 400 gold away. If he dies here in this gank, it's going to be very difficult for him to get a nice timing on that travels. But I think this should be an easy, straightforward kill on Ace. They're going to pile on in with those spirits, but it is going to miss though, the spirit explosions. But it's going to be more than enough as Keizu's Iron Shell shreds away the HP of that Gyrocopter. So 30 seconds on the sidelines, his ultimate spent. The Ember Spirit does get assist goal for that, so closer to his travels now. And straightforward gank. The bottom lane there really has to be careful. DB, they may be ahead, but don't want to throw away too much of that lead.
After that as well, Synderin has hit that level 6. He ate a tomb afterwards, but it's still Serpent Wards, so...
Roshan? Is this Roshan?
It could be Roche.
Yeah, they have
Looks
Slaughter.
like they are.
Yeah,
they're converging for Roche.
there is a lot of there's a lot of money involved, of course, but the EXP for Roshan has been nerfed, so Diggity, although they will be getting this Roche, I think uncontested, it is not as big a deal as it was last version. Something else to note as well. So this Syndron roster does have a game plan in mind. They pop the wards, they take this Aegis. Are they going to hand it to Slaughter or the Ember though? It does look like Ember.
So yeah, both are.
Oh, meanwhile, Yepsor. A lot of aggressive movement here from DB. They're not farming at that Gyrocopter, just looking to push with this Face Boost Aquila build. And the nighttime cycle comes along, forced out here by the Night Stalker.
Era could be jumped on if they spot him. Do they have the vision, however? Looks like they don't. It's nighttime.
There's an observer ward that's going to see him right now. Yeah, the Night Stalker is going to run away. And no aggression here, but no, Ace is ready. He is going to bait Era in with a full sense of security. Thinking that this is his base, Joe is just going to sit back. And now Rise comes in. He does have the brain to does have the grip and the brain sap. Immediate TP's coming in, but it's too late. The fish has already sunk, and Keizu is gonna try and run forward there, but his surge runs out, so there'll be no pursuit here. Joe is still amped up, but not really anything they can do about this. And this
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
is this normal to not feel the impact of an Earth Spirit in the game? I mean, I don't think it's Yabzor's fault, but I feel like the Earth Spirit hasn't been able to contribute this game because of how far behind they are. He has kicked a few rocks here and there, but apart from that, really nothing much you can do. You know, you already see him sitting back farming mid lanes while his team was engaging, trying to get up that Veil for that burst damage with his Magnetize later on in a team fight, in a crucial team fight. But right now, not seeing a lot of OS Frog moments, you know what I'm saying?
There's not really much Yapzor can do though. Like, there's no heroes on the side of no Diggity that he can just sort of pair up with and go for these small skirmishes with. Like, both you have an Ember Spirit and a Slardar. Era had a terrible laning phase, so he's trying to catch up farm. Whereas for Koifa, he's gone for Boots of Travels. He's committing to farm. So who are you supposed to pair with for Yapzor? Like, even Syndra had a terrible time. Like, it's so difficult for them to look for kills. They're gonna smoke up this time. They've actually got 3 heroes here if they decide to bring Koifa in.
Jakiro. Oh, Koifa. They do see him. Do they see him, or is it just... Oh, I think the smoke broke for Koifa? I'm not sure. But they are converging middle, and this is a very, very farmed Alchemist with a Radiance. They're going to be running into a Radiance, so if they can come in and pick off the support lineup at the back, that Ryze has run into a safer position. Noah catches him out. Syndra in the back lines, he could be compromised if he's not careful. He is gonna be compromised. Syndra tries to go for the grip there on the Batman, but he gets hammered down, and he will feed a whole bunch of wards as well. The kick comes out from Yabzor. He drops the Magnetize. There is the amplified damage on the Alchemist, but no one there to really hit the amplified damage, and Yabzor's just gonna roll away. He does roll to the side there, making a lot of space, you could say. He kicks another rock. It is off target though. He will pour it out. Ryze should not be able to grab him. Ooh, very close to putting him to sleep there, but not going to be in time for that. And Ace will come back here and farm up these wards. Very, very kindly handed over by Syndra. And this range creep will now serve the Radiant to stack dragons. Meanwhile, Koifa sees Alchemist, knows that he can't do anything about it really. And as Alchemist just walks away, Octarine Manta on the way, and it's not looking good for Diggity. Not looking good at all.
It's looking very, very difficult. They've got no way to deal with Pimpinchek, and he's just getting bigger and bigger, and at such a rapid rate as well. But in the mid lane, bit of a skirmish.
Sin, run, Sin. Sin does get away. Alright, here comes the reinitiation. Yabzor catches the Bane there, and Syndra finds him with the shackles, but the brain set tops him back up. Ryze, he will buy a lot of time, but he gets kicked away by Kaolin, the Earth Spirit, and well, he will be smashed to the ground. So 9-3, we do get a little bit of rebuttal here from Diggity, but it's not enough. They do need to get this guy, the yellow guy, the yellow fat guy. Get him! There we go. They started off with the chains. There's the amplified damage. Just kick as well to silence the follow-up. There is your amplified damage. There is your pickoff. Syndra will die for a good cause, maybe. Ice Path will cut him off at the wings, and there we go. Noya drops the Macropie on top of Syndra, and even in a victory, he does get taken out there. Yabzor will drop the Magnetize, stall a little bit of time for his team. Ace is on the killing spree with his Gyrocopter, putting the Earth Spirit to sleep there.
That kill onto the Alchemist though, that was enormous. Considering how big the Alchemist is in terms of net worth.
And Syndra got it too. 500 gold to him.
He's gonna be super happy with that.
Oops.
So no Diggity, they get a nice chunk of gold. Excuse you, Lysander.
Whoops.
Accidents happen. Like, Koifa's in the mid lane, he's got a Remnant, so he should be absolutely okay. But the gold they got from the Alchemist definitely helping this early on as well, considering their huge deficit. So if they can keep on getting pickoffs like that before Danish Bears can sort of TP in, then they're going to be looking good into sort of bringing themselves back into the fold of this game quite nicely.
There's a mechanism done on darts here as well. Alright, here comes Ace. The Magnetize will start. No, there's no Magnetize. Just the kicks here to and fro. Will he catch Ace though? So low. They will get him. They will get him. The ashes of his fallen comrades actually does overwhelm him in the end. So Yabzor will get those earn charges right back up. Meanwhile though, Mr. Alchemist in that middle lane with the Yasha on hand chops down that middle tower. And Night Stalker is looking towards that Aghanim Scepter very shortly, only 800 gold away. This is a 70-minute nearly Aghanim's completed here. And Keizu, I hope he sees this one coming, because it's going to be a real showstopper here. Keizu Gonna get caught out. He tries to surge, but really, where are you running, my friend? Where are you running? Oh, is he gonna actually run away? Nope, they commit the ultimate. And Haste Joe takes him out with his claws. Night Stalker 12 and 5 now. DB overpowering Diggity in the early game. And overpowering the early game is what you want with an Alchemist on your side. So definitely looking good here for the Danish Bears. Coming back from that BO3 loss earlier on. But Lysander drops the walls. Round 2, they're going for the tier 1 tower. Quickfer, he does have the Remnant charges, and Bane does not have his grip, so they might look to do something. Never mind, they're just going to feed the wards again. But DB takes some damage on that tier 1 tower. It's down to 200 now.
No Diggity's doing a good job at creeping back into this game. It's 18 minutes in and Quafer's almost got his Battle Fury, just waiting on that last component and he's good to go. And Era's almost picked up his Blink Dagger as well. So once that's actually picked up, I would not be surprised if No Diggity decides to commit to a couple of smokes and try and go for a couple of quick pickoffs, because their draft is still capable of going for those pickoffs just because they've got the Earth Spirit there for the disruption, the initial jump in for the Slater as well. Like, they've got so much mobility to work with that they can definitely abuse this once they have the sufficient items to start off with. They just got to make sure that they don't run into the full Danish Bears lineup, because we've seen a couple of times 5-on-5, not the easiest fights, but no Diggity,
Here we go, we're gonna smoke, we're gonna get a big crush here from Era. Eyes on Era, they are still smoked up, there is nothing right now, they don't see anything, the Radiant. Their eyes deceive them. There's a crush. Lands on 2 to start things off, and the kick will follow through as well. Double sided as well. The good vacuum into wall. And here comes the chains. It's gonna be damage, but is it enough damage? The tower says yes. Shoots down the Night Stalker, and Noah running away at the 3-4-man crush. Era laying down the law here. Ace now gonna try and rocket barrage, but it's 3 heroes. It's not as effective here. The amplified damage, it is on him. There will be no juking. There'll be no running. The Ember Spirit slices across and chops off his wings. 12 to 10. Suddenly Diggity pull it back, and they are back at that 5,000 deficit as compared to that 8,000 they were. Alchemist still sitting at a very hefty 14k, but at this point it's more of a disadvantage if he keeps feeding it away. And huge plays here from Era Slaughter, and you can see why it's their comfort hero now.
Absolutely, and also just being caught off guard with that Blink Dagger, especially when he got that 4-man crush under 4 heroes retreating. If you're retreating and your whole team gets caught in AoE disable like that, you know you are absolutely screwed. So beautiful execution for No Diggity. They've really brought themselves back into this game, and they're actually really close to bringing the net worth back down to even though there's an Alchemist on the side of Danish Bears. Like, being able to come back like this is terrible news for Danish Bears. They've invested so much into the Alchemist that for this hero to be effective, he needs to be ahead by quite a margin in terms of net worth. So to start falling down like this and seeing No Diggity accumulating these items, all of a sudden you're going to have to start thinking of your Danish Bears. Like, how are you going to start dealing with No Diggity after a big team fight like that and some of these items coming up?
Yeah, well, we wanted an interesting game, so we have a little bit of a worrying start there for the 76% betters on No Diggity. And then now they pull it back, make it interesting again. It is still not in the bag. I mean, it's after all against an Alchemist, and an Alchemist can get really scary really fast. And the Gyrocopter as well, no, not a hero you want to scoff at as well. Era, he is going to be facing up against the Night Stalker if he's not careful, but now he's just going to port away. And I think somehow he saw the NS coming.
Radiant's top tower
The Gyrocopter could be back to farming, so that little setback going to be ignored here by Danish Bears. They're going to go back to farming, back to playing that economy game, trying to regain that lead that they had in the early game. But the grief's done here from Keizu, and despite, well, I thought he died a lot more than
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think it was close.
Yeah,
but
he only
did
died
die.
twice. I felt like he died more, but he only died twice actually, and that's pretty good given that his team was really far behind, that he was against a Bane. So twice, dying twice, and then getting that grease back in time as well. And now that Roshan is up, will they be able to contest? Danish Bears, they know that this is coming. They will smoke up. They have the NS to scout things up ahead, but they will lead with the chicken.
Oh, is this going to be a pretty good... Look at the positioning for No Diggity. They're all spread out. They're expecting
Syndra,
this.
look at him.
Oh,
He dies for a cause. I promise. He dies for a cause. He goes in. He might not even die. He's pretty tanky with the Ogre Club and the Point Booster. He hacks up that Night Stalker. He is now the Night Chicken. Good vacuum. Keizu takes him out. Yep's all about to go down though. He will go down. Radiant's burn and Jakiro too strong boy, but Era cuts them off here. Rise and Ping trying to run away, but they say no. Rise now gripping up Era. Era taking a lot of damage here. The Alchemist concoction is going to be enough, and Alchemist turns him into gold. Will take him out. Meanwhile, Night Stalker takes out the Rasta in the back lines, and suddenly they will steal up this Roshan with the Acid Spray. They can actually try and go for this. There is amplified damage, so Ping might want to be careful about this, but with the Acid Spray, it should be child's play, seeing that Diggity had already softened it up for them. And again, we have that roller coaster ride of emotions as Diggity throw one fight over to Danish Baz, and what looked like an initiation of dreams, you know, with that vacuum into wall. And that Era cut off with the slaughter. It just felt very disconnected. The team was just all around the place, focusing on the wrong targets. And you really just want to focus on the purple guy. And, well, it wasn't done. And as a result, they paid the price. They had the Night Stalker clean up the crew, and Alchemist shutting down Era.
Haste actually did such a good job at disconnecting Cinderin, as well as... I'm just trying to figure out who else he actually kept in place. But he was so busy with just keeping two of No Diggity's heroes at bay that it forced No Diggity to sort of fight, as you said, disconnected. They didn't have their whole team because half of them was just so busy with Batman literally just climbing all on top of them. And for him to just be able to control the fight up like that while the rest of his team was able to finish everyone else up on the side of Diggity, like that was such a huge steal. And this is like really big as well if you think about it for Danish Bears, because they've invested so much into Pimvinchek that if they can't actually take this game with the current state of Pimvinchek, they can't even fall back to the Gyrocopter as of yet, because Ace, he's still got quite a ways away in terms of farm. Oh dear.
It's daytime. He pops at nighttime right away. Yamsar goes in there. He misses on the kick there. It is an Olay, so no goal for him there. Noah is going to start off that dual breath. He does get chained up, amplified as well. Keizu says no sir, punches him in the face, backs them in. Ping gets back into the wards. Syndron will die at the top of the fight there, but Ping still regenerating through all of this. Alchemist, good hero, but he will be reviving now with that Aegis on his back. And it is going to be a kick. It will land right on top of that. Very well done. Magnetize deployed now, saving it for this revive there. Ping does not have his ultimate, so he's not regenerating as fast as he would like to. He's burning down really quickly. That own Radiance burn from the Darkseer actually taking him out. Very well done. Ember Spread now coming in, takes out Ace. Quakefa delivers with his Battle Fury. Available now. Rise tries to dodge that rolling boulder, but you don't dodge Kowlin. Kowlin dodges you. And Yapso will score that kill. 449 now on his kill score. Not the best, but flashy plays all around here from the Darkseer ES combo. And, well, they secure some big kills. They lose Syndron again, but they do get the team fight win overall. And, oh, Danish Bears. Better net worth, but still losing those fights. And, gotta say, that was a better execution compared to that Roche loss.
That was actually such a good combination coming out from Kezu as well as Cinderin. Kezu went for the vacuum after the Serpent Wards got deployed, and the Alchemist was actually jammed between the Serpent Wards. He wasn't able to move. But he even tried to Manta Style in hopes that he would get pushed out, but he was still stuck inside, and because he wasn't able to move, he just died so quickly. Coming back into the fight, also the kick coming out from Yapsor, just sort of keeping him in place for a little bit longer for the rest of his team to start converging onto the Alch. And without the ult, as you said, on Pimvinchek, he just died so quickly, especially with this minus armor coming out from Era as well. Because you have to remember, Alchemist as a hero in general, he just doesn't have the best armor gain to begin with. And he's going for the Octarine core after this, so it's just going to be the standard Radiance Octarine Manta Star build afterwards here for Pimvinchek.
It's a disgusting build that I feel that should be punished more by the Frog. It's absolutely contagious. No one likes to use the C word, but I'll use the other word in pubs. And, well, Ping, he is going for the Octarine build. It does have its benefits. I mean, it allows you to constantly pressure out the map, split farm, keeping your opponents at bay. But in a team fight, especially with a Slaughter on the other side, you might want to opt towards more armory options, I feel. And like you mentioned, like we talked about in the draft, the amplified damage just opens up a new avenue of fighting Alchemist. Normally he out-heals everything, but not when you're dealing amplified damage to him.
Exactly. So for No Diggity, they're feeling really good now. If we actually take a look at the vision game for both squads, there are no observer wards outside of the one near the Roche pit here for Danish Bears. So they are working more or less blind outside of the Night Stalker. So when it's not nighttime, they don't really have that much vision to work with. Whereas for No Diggity, it's actually in a similar situation. They've only got one award, which is actually near the Radiant Ancients. It's not giving him too much vision.
They see error. They want to start on him, but how did they start this? Oh, instant blink away. So the fishman gets out of there in time. Rise a little bit too slow to float over. Oh, Synderen, where's Synderen? Oh, where's Synderen? No, where? Oh, okay.
Going to the shop, seeping out. He's fine. He's not gonna die.
He's good. Sit. Well, so far I'm right, 379. We'll see if he gets a rampage later on to fix this.
That's not negative. That's kind of positive. Neutral.
Is that? I mean, that's pretty clear cut. 3-7 is negative, right?
What assists count?
Oh, a radiant scan going out here. We'll scout out the movement here from Diggity. They will know that they are farming ancients or something of that sort. There is a double damage up top, so we'll see if anyone does find it. I mean, it'll be excellent on the Ember Spirit.
Never refuse.
It's gonna walk up there. So they are heading up north. They will actually find it, I think. They will find the chicken as well. Yeah, and oh, they give it to Era. Okay, I guess they are trying to flee away, so they just grab it up and retreat. So there's Night Stalker.
Oh, they see Kezu, but everyone's a little bit too far behind for him to make any play happen.
Yeah, Night Stalker, he does see, but he can't really act on it. He is going for that Black King bar, and it is good. It will allow him to be less restricted in fights from Synderen and the Slaughter, and even the Earth Spirit.
Tower is under attack.
But it will not solve the problem of the amplified damage.
Top tower is under
Koifa
attack.
was in the top lane and he did start pushing in the creep wave, and this does force Pinvenchek to actually TP back. So any sort of movement if Danish Bears wanted to push mid, they've also got to just keep in mind that there's always going to be Koifa on the map. So Koifa's actually getting pretty big as well. He's got Crystallis as well on top of the Battle Fury and Boots of Travels with his Blink Dagger too. Koifa is going to start being a problem for Danish Bears, and I'm not too sure if they have enough control to keep not just Era at bay, but also now Koifa, who's going to be a huge pain in the backside.
Yeah, well, this Alchemist gotta start showing up. Because after that nerf to the Grievous Greed, not working on illusions anymore, this Mantle Octarine build has been put into question again as to whether or not it's actually worth getting it over other items. I would say the Radiance is still okay to get, maybe the Manta as well, but you may want to opt towards an Assault Cuirass before the Octarine. It is a very expensive item. It's one of the most expensive items in the game, so dumping a lot of gold into something like that
bottom tower is
that doesn't help you in combat situations may turn out to be a big risk. I would say it's wrong, but it's risky to put your eggs in the basket, like you said.
Oh, Joe, he may actually run into a whole bunch of No Diggity heroes.
Oh, he does see them, right?
He does see them, but knowing No Diggity, they can just go for the jump if they'd like to.
Yeah, there's a blink on this. There's a blink on the soccer player. This guy's a cheater.
Pinvenchek is a BKB, however, so all of a sudden he's going to be able to mitigate a lot of the control from No Diggity now.
But he does have to watch for the amplify damage. Maybe try and pop it after amplify is applied so that he dispels it at least once. Because otherwise, he still could be brought down very quickly with his lack of armor. Amplify damage is up at level 2 now, so minus 15 is going to be coming out here on this Slaughter.
So it looks like for now, every time it's nighttime, No Diggity are just backing up. This is the right way.
It's almost perma-night, right? With NS Aghanim's. If he gets Octarine, it's perma-night.
But will he go for Octarine? I've never seen competitive Night Stalkers go for Octarine, and rightly so. There's like so many other items you can pick up.
He could get it this game because he can have his X slot replaced with that Alchemist buff, so it's possible we can get perma-night here.
60 minutes. Like 60 minutes in, that's probably going to happen.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But it's always nice to theorize about Aghanim's builds.
Oh, Koifa being a bit of a nuisance down the bottom lane. Starting to actually apply pressure. Yep.
Does cheese this time, and Synderen sees this, but do they want to contest this? After all, it is nighttime. And there is still the ultimate on Night Stalker, so he can actually extend this a lot more. We'll see the vision. Does he scout out anything? He does see Quakefa, so he will not be able to jump him. There is no dagger on this Night Stalker. There'll be no jump. And yeah, I think there'll be a port out here. Diggity should not suffer any losses. I say that. Synderen is walking in the wrong direction though.
You love to jinx Cinder.
No, actually, no. The more that I talk about him, the less he should die, because the caster's curse works this way. You know, if you say he dies or he doesn't die, the opposite happens.
But the thing is, Cinderin's a caster as well, so he's gonna reverse it back onto himself.
Ah, alright. So that's why he keeps dying. Because everyone makes fun of him about dying, and because he's a caster himself, he's immune to the caster's curse. So
We don't make fun of him.
he
We
gets-
we all
he
love
gets-
Cinderin.
yeah.
We all love Cinderin.
Gets
He's
happy
such a
fun.
nice guy.
he gets like curse critted or something.
He gets crits.
Yeah, he,
First caster in history of
he
Dota
gets
to get.
Bloodthorn. Yeah, it's like the feeding burst Bloodthorn or whatever. But looks like we have some net problems going on here, so we could check out some items and maybe we missed something along the way. We do have 4 staff on Jakiro. It's quite a small inventory given his excellent start. Actually, I feel that he might have something more like maybe a veil or something luxurious like a arcane boots. Oh, not arcane boots, greaves or mechanism by now. Bane
I feel
is...
like maybe they just transition him into the position 5 support now, so that Rise can focus on his next item pickup. Because Rise has picked up an Oak Club, so they
Is
could be
this
just
a BKB?
dedicating the farm to him.
This looks like a BKB.
It'd have to be. There's nothing on the side of no diggity that cancels the BKB, so that's going to be that's going to mean you're going to get the guaranteed grip.
Yeah, short of a bash from Era, of course.
We almost have an Ags on Yapsaw as well, so he's going to be able to start going for those stone saves.
With Blink, you can blink in
Yes.
to turn someone into a rock and kick into your team as well. So there is that.
Exactly. So I'm actually looking forward to this Ags on Yapsaw.
Yeah, and you can
Even
pull
more.
teammates out of trouble. I think this Ember is gonna be impossible to kill soon.
Not just Ember, there's going to be times where Danish bears are not going to be able to kill anybody
That's true.
because of that. It's still paused for now. Nothing else is interesting really picked up.
Yeah, all very standard items for now. But we'll see. Jakiro does have his macropire changed actually. The length has been extended at the normal non-axe upgrade. So macropire is actually better at holding high ground now because first it lasts for 10 seconds and it has a huge firewall kind of width, and with the Aghanim Scepter it gets even more powerful as a aerial denial because it lasts for 30 seconds. It just fries the ground for 30 seconds. Like, it's freaking crazy. And it does moderate damage. I wouldn't say crazy damage, but for 30 seconds the ramp is on fire. And it has a 60-second cooldown, so it's kind of like 30-second uptime, 30-second downtime.
It's
pretty
great in
crazy.
theory, but in terms of scalability, if it's a support Jakiro, if you want to look at both of the supports on Danish Bears, you would more or less prioritize Rise over the Jakiro just because the Bane is going to provide a lot more as the game goes later compared to what the Jakiro does. Like, at some point, Neuer's damage is going to be considered almost nothing because some of these heroes are going to be so tanky. Even with the changes to Int, where spell damage can be amplified depending on how much Int you have, like, Neuer's not in a position to start scaling.
I always felt that macropire was lackluster and not applicable. Maybe if
Unless you have the
maybe if
Chronosphere.
it damaged towers. Kappa.
You better add the Kappas in. Better add them.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, okay, maybe if it slows. What if it slows or disarms? Maybe it would be slightly better. I don't know. I felt like for vanilla DOT, it's kind of weak.
It always has been weak, but it's so
Even if
difficult
they
to
up the
change it.
numbers, it is still very weak if it's not.
Unless it
comboed
ends up
with-
being like another upgraded version of Dual Breath or something. As you said, the slow.
yeah,
So you get the wave of slow, and then you have the macropire.
because no one stands in it for more than 2 seconds in a fight. You know, just walk
No
out of
sane
it.
person does.
Yeah, it's just more aerial denial, shutting down a creep wave from coming up. I think that's pretty good. It's great when people stand still, and then you need Chronosphere for that, RP. But still, 30 seconds seems excessive, and it'll be great if it damaged towers, guys. Ice Frog, are you listening?
Keep praying, Lysander.
Make Jakiro great again. Jordan
dear.
and their VoIP issues, so. Both teams are very game about this. The bad thing about these kind of pauses is it does reset the tempo of these games, so it was very intense, and then the players start cooling down, and Alright, so...
And then also you have to worry about pause time. Especially in a game like this, like, you don't want to be losing any players, especially when it's single elimination.
Yeah. I think there was a team that had to forfeit. I think it was Snaking's team that had to forfeit in one of the qualifiers. It's pretty sad for them. And yeah, it looks like it will be a port out, successful TP out, not really anything much to do. Yabzor is still sticking around. They do see his remnant. Oh, if Quakefer jumps back to this.
Oh no, Yapsol.
Yabzor, no. Ooh,
Oh.
fast fingers, Mr. Khalid, but Keizu runs back in. Lotus Orb immediately dispels this. And I love this item, by the way. Love Lotus Orb. Animation to the effect, everything. And the thing's awesome.
That's such a good play coming out from Yapsor though.
Yeah,
the unfortunate thing for
fast
Danish
play.
Bear was if he actually walked out and it still had the last moments of nighttime on, that definitely would have been a jump coming out from our Night Stalker.
Well,
The
did the
good thing is
daytime
that-
just hit?
Yeah,
at the wrong
daytime
time?
hit. That's why they popped nighttime.
Oh, well, that's very unfortunate there. But not watching the clock there, not watching the watch on his arm, Night Stalker will cost his team a kill. But I feel like Bane could have been in position to grip that. I felt that he wasn't inch.
They probably thought that No Diggity had no idea they were there to begin with.
They wanted to wait for the team to converge in properly. But now it's daytime, so there's a little bit of respite. If this is not a level 16 Night Stalker, there will still be a little bit of sunlight in this game.
Dire's middle tower
And
is under
Diggity
attack.
do have that window of opportunity. Do they push for it? We'll see.
Oh, they want to go into the Roche pit, and with that nighttime as well, they're not going to have the extra vision from Joe. But such good play coming out from No Diggity.
Well, we'll see. This Roshan is being amped up, being focused down by the
Radiant's
Serpent
top
Wars.
tower
This
is under
is
attack.
going to be really quick, and I don't think they will have time to fight this one this time. So Danish Bears will forfeit Roshan, they will forfeit Cheese. Yabzor is ready with his soccer balls. And looks like he will not be doing
Oh,
anything of
Convention?
that sort, but Alchemist, oh no, he has got half his ultimate left. Will they be able to catch him though? He does deploy some Radiance Illusions there. And the roll in there, Yabzor comes in with the kick, he will land on 2 Rising A's. He gets a hat trick, and now Keizu, he goes in with the vacuum, only catches Rise though, he gets destroyed. Oh no, the double BKB is catching him off guard, and now Quakefa chased down there by a homing missile. He could be trouble, but a reinitiation coming in, Yabzor. He's gonna kick a boulder over, it's a little bit slow. Oh no, the Alchemist stun lands on 2, Quakefa in trouble. He does have the Aegis for a respawn, but is it gonna be enough? It's immediately gonna be deployed now, Alchemist. The angry purple man. Will they kill him off? He will jump to the side. Quakefa doesn't have any more illusions ready for him. He does get stunned, gets voided up. He's gonna get chopped down. Oh no, disaster strikes. Diggity running away now. Era, he does have the cheese. Really doesn't want to have to eat that piece of dairy right now. He's gonna sprint away. The Vanguard and Ogre Club in hand. He doesn't want to lose his money. He's very close to that BKB. The Alchemist will be chasing him down. Hey, look at him. In the pink of health.
Soldier's
Oh, No
fortune.
Diggity. They took more than they could chew. Getting a little bit too overconfident with the Aegis, thinking that with the Aegis and cheese that they were going to be okay, but
Dire's middle
for
tower is under
not
attack.
Dire Bears, for Danish Bears to be able to come out on top of that as well. They did
Dire's
lose the
structures
gyrocopter
are
for Danish
fortified.
Bears, but for Pivenchek to just be able to sit in the front lines, completely fight everybody off, and
Dire's middle
with all these
tower
heroes dead
has
as well,
fallen.
like they just take an easy T2 tower. Even at this point into the game, considering how Pivenchek has absorbed all of the gold, they're still going to be very useful for the rest of his team. Gyrocopter's still trying to scale. It's rather
Generation.
unfortunate that he died because ideally you would love the gyro to survive through everything so that he's able to make the most of all their rewards. But the Gyrocopter, looking at his position now, he's got a BKB, Sanjanyasha, as well as the Helm of the Dominator, but he's still got quite a ways away before he starts scaling into that real late game gyro that we're used to seeing. This is more or less just the after effects of an Alk. Like, you give everything to the Alk and you're just giving Ace scraps, essentially. Just saying, you're gonna be okay at some point. They give him
Aghanim's on
Axe,
a
though.
Gyrocopter.
Oh,
Do
the
we have a
side
little?
gunner.
I've never seen this happen. All right. Let me look for visual.
There's no
Visual
visual.
confirmation of it actually working. Is
Oh,
there a
it
little,
works.
little guy
It-
holding a pistol shooting? No.
No. You'll see just an extra right click if he walks by anything, but that's it.
Oh, okay. There it was. Okay, that's really
Okay.
disappointing for $4,200. He should pull out a pistol, like an old revolver, a Colt 45 or something, and then like bang.
You're asking him to drive will pilot a plane with one hand.
He's crazy enough. I think he'll do it.
I guess they can probably just use one foot for the other handle. It's all good.
Yeah, one hand.
One
Alright.
hand, one foot.
Yeah. Memes. Alright, so memes aside, we have Diggity gonna be running forward, not aware that DB are in their base area actually. The Night Stalker is gonna be level 17 now, so it's almost gonna be permanent. I think there is like 40 seconds of downtime, if I'm not wrong. The maths, I can't remember the math. 40 to 60 seconds of daylight, I think. That's all that's left for you. Every day. In
It's
Dota land.
not good. It's like living in Antarctica where there's almost no daytime. It's get very cold.
It is very cold, but we'll see how they deal with this cold. They do have Ember Spirit, so they might be able to shut this whole cold thing down. He is very farmed with the Battle Fury, the Daedalus. He's finally gonna go for the Lincoln Sphere, which I think is excellent because he needs that buffer time that the Lincoln Sphere buys him to jump away sometimes. Because if he gets hit by a Bane's Grip from the fog or unawares, you know, could take him out very quickly because Ember Spirit underneath all that mobility and zip zappy. He is a very fragile creature and he blinks forward. Does he have a remnant behind? They do. They will have to deploy this. They grip him. There you go.
Oh.
There is that buffer time we talked about. Rise, obviously not clicking on that inventory. Not expecting that shiny new pickup from the Ember Spirit, will immediately regret his decision. Lose 90 seconds of that ultimate. And right now, I like this Night Stalker blink pickup. I just casually mentioned it earlier, and well, he does pick it up now. So because he often sees people first, and jumping in with a Void Silence would be a good enough time for his team to close the gap.
Especially when he has the BKB. Well, like he knows he's gonna have that. Oh, they found Yapsaw.
Oh,
They
there's
actually kill him
definitely.
though. Where's the follow-up? Everyone's a little bit too far behind. Although, okay, Yapsaw playing with fire. Oh Jesus, this guy.
Oh, he is yeah, he's gonna leap away, so he's gonna be fine. But yeah, this Night Stalker with the Blink Dagger, a bigger threat now than he was before. Previously, he was just a walking radar, but now he's a radar that bites back. To be very careful now. I think Diggity, they have to go look. Maybe they look for that 40 seconds of daylight to make something happen. I don't know. Or they wait for DB to make a wrong move.
They would have to do them making wrong moves. They can still use the daylight, but if you're only going to be relying on the daylight, you're grasping at straws. You need a little bit more than that before you can comfortably just walk into no diggity. I do like what they're doing though with with Koifa as well as Era down the bottom lane. They're forcing heroes to TP into the bottom lane, or they could just try and go for a snipe onto Pimp and check if he shows himself.
Can they kill him though? He has
I think they
BKB,
can.
Assault Cuirass. It's gonna be iffy. Gotta be iffy.
It will force TPs back. If they can't kill him, it will force TPs back from Danish Bears, which will open the map up for the rest of No Diggity.
Oh, we are closing in on that 40-minute mark. The Ember is starting to catch up with the Alchemist. He's starting to plateau a little bit. He's running out of inventory slots. He can only afford one more moonshot, and then he's topped up to the max, and he'll start buying Aghanim's for his teammates.
So, for Danish Bears, who would you consider giving the Ags to first if you're the Alchemist? Actually, he can give himself Ags first if he wants to for the extra stats, and then he can give it to the rest of his team. So he's got two ways to scale.
That could work. Yeah, that could work. I feel like giving to Jakiro will be a waste, and I want to say Bane, it does give more damage and that cute little nightmare thing.
He doesn't have the BKB either, so it would sort of act as a bit of a buffer for heroes that try to cancel.
He is buying one more, so it's gotta be for someone. We'll see who it is. I feel like they should have picked better Aghanim heroes now.
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't think it would go this late. I guess they're okay with this. Who's it gonna be?
He's gonna fluff it on the Jakiro. Alright, so we have ourselves an upgraded Macropire, 30-second firewall. I think they're sensing this push coming from Diggity, so they want to shut this down with a 30-second firewall. So pretty good stuff. We'll see if it works, or will it be just completely ignored there. It does come down to initiation. I think if Keizu grabs that vacuum crush combo, when he sees it, then this fight could be a lot shorter than we envision it to be. But if it's drawn out, Jakiro's firewall could be a little bit better at stopping an incoming push. But Gyrocopter has got 3,000 gold. Do we see a butterfly here, or is it something else?
Probably just gonna have to be a butterfly. He needs raw damage. Because at this point, he's not hitting that hard, and ideally as a gyrocopter you want to actually start hitting hard so the flak cannon shots actually start to do something. Because not to say that Ace is completely useless, but he isn't going to be as great if Pivenchak actually gets taken down in the fight. It's like, you can't sufficiently rely on Ace to be that secondary source of damage. You need the rest of the team.
I feel like Diggity are running around like they have vision of the map when they don't.
They're trying to look for as much as they can. Like, that's all that they can really do at this point. Every time it's nighttime, it's so risky for them to leave the map because there's always going to be the chance of Joe being there with the vision, or we're just running into a whole team of Danish Bear heroes. Because, like, the way that Danish Bears have been playing, they've been playing mostly 5-man Dota for this game, and it might actually be a 5-on-5 very shortly, depending on who catches vision of who first. It's daytime as well, so not gonna have the Night Stalker vision. They have it now.
Oh, they grip Era up on the sidelines there. The kick there really slow. It doesn't catch him off in time, and Era just turns into gold there. The Alchemist picking him off, and well, we have that team fight recap very short there. 60 seconds on the sideline Era, and I feel like Diggity might be in trouble if they don't land their combos. They are running out of time here. They don't have the best high ground defense if Quakefa isn't there, because he has to be out there split pushing. Otherwise they get starved out. Oh, Yapso! They can't see him. That's the power of the Night Stalker. There is a blinked initiation if they want to go for it, but not wanting to risk it without the Fiend's grip. So they'll just observe for now. Observe and wait. 43 minutes into this game, and it still could be anyone's.
Quakefa was actually potentially going to get a very crucial snipe. If he killed the courier, that would have actually prevented the gyro from getting his butterfly for the next 2 to 3 minutes. But because he wasn't able to get it, butterfly is now completed. So you finally have some raw damage on the gyro. He's got the evasion to work with as well. Danish Bears are starting to actually become a little bit too overpowering here for No Diggity. I know Diggity, they can try to fight up against Danish Bears, but they're just so hesitant to fight just because of this nighttime. Like, this lack of vision, because they can't see anything. They can't comfortably confront the Danish Bears. Like, that's why every single time if it's darkness pop, they think they're going to be jumped on, and without this vision, they just don't know where they could be coming from.
Well, we'll see. I'm still looking forward to seeing this Jakiro Arcanum's upgrade. I don't know how good it will be in the fights without any real hold. There is a Fiend's Grip to hold someone there, so I think there is a bit of synergy. But yeah, there are a little bit too many tanky heroes, like you mentioned, on this DB side right now for the Ember Spirit Sleight of Fist to actually output enough damage for it to hurt. And I like how this radar is just sitting here. This guy, he has a blink dagger, so he can initiate right away. He can jump away. Era tries to go in for the Aegis, but he's not gonna get it. Era does have that cheese there. I'm not sure if it's his or the new one, but Keizu immediately destroyed that. Quakefa will jump away right away. He was doing nothing. Syndrome taking a nap in the middle of the fight there. Now gets Fiend's Grip. Hasten Joe punches him down with that BKB. Blinks forward, looks for Era. Keizu already dead there. Yepzor rolling away. There is still the Night Stalker. Roll in 5 seconds. Blink rather in 5 seconds. The Yepzor will just roll away. The Urna Shadows applied there on Era. They do scout him out, thinking about leaping over the cliff, but not going to do that as the rest of his team is still sitting back happily behind there. And I feel like DB have this. I feel like they really have this. It's gonna be tough. There is no buyback on the docks here. Pink going to town there on this tower. I think Diggity are in trouble. Era, he applies the amplified damage there. We have Quakefa. It is still an Ember Spirit, so this game can go to Mega Creeps, and we can't call it over, but it is going to look really rough now with this Ember Spirit having to throw his own team on his back there and carry this. Era, gonna try and apply some amplifiers here, but so far not so good. They lose the first set of Rex, so drawing first blood on Rexes here is Danish Bears. And this gold graph starting to look real obscene here with that 20,000 gold lead.
And now you got the BKB on the Bane as well, so uninterrupted Fiend's Grips. Say goodbye to whoever gets gripped up now by from No Diggity. Hey, is this the necrophire still up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
There we go. I didn't think it'd be Oh, okay, that just goes to show how quickly Danish bears took the Raxus. Well, I hope you're pleased.
Well, I thought that was a visual bug, that those residual particles that they get
I
left
thought
behind.
so as well, and then I realized, wait,
Yeah,
that's the actual
and then it
macrofiber.
went away. All right, so pretty good. I mean, it's excellent for rush fights, I guess, because that's one of the natural choke points in this map. Ramps are another thing as well. If you theoretically, if you cover up this entire area with fire, it's gonna be hard for your opponents to start an initiation. You know, having a running start on
Oh,
fire is gonna be kind of tough.
wafer, it's
Oh,
DR
I
time.
mean, it's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. That's the only way he can output enough damage. Crit with the Divine Rapier in the creep wave, and pray for some really mad crits there, take out some of the back lines, soften the Elk enough, because at this point, this is looking very scary for them, because during the Alchemist ultimate, even the Rapier hits might not be enough, and Ace starting to get big on his own, and with the Aghadam's vitamin shots that the Alchemist has been giving everyone, they're also tanky.
If Quaver drops though, that's probably going to be it. Especially if
Yeah, of
either the
course.
gyro
He
or
doesn't
the
have Lincolns
Alchemist,
as well.
he's got no buyback.
He's got no Lincolns. He dropped it for the Divine Rapier. It's 2 minutes on that Aegis. We'll see if Diggity can hold out till then. But that shield, it's not going to be that. And look at that, already a preemptive ward. Expecting to lose the tower there. So they're going to put down the Vision Burst. And this Alchemist Illusion just burning away the creep wave. Here comes the Veil. The kick will come. So it will take out that creep wave. So yep, so...
Dude, just playing it so safely. They're literally just hanging on to this game by a thread. Just if anyone touches that thread, that's going to disconnect them from this game.
Alright, let's see some fire. The Lotus Orb has been deployed, and there we go. Look at that. What creep wave. Does it damage towers, guys? No, it
under
doesn't.
attack.
Can you actually hear that? That's quite loud.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Adding a lot of aesthetic to that dire base there. All deep in lava and whatnot. Still on fire. Still on fire.
It's 30 seconds, Lysander. I don't think you should be staring at it for 30 seconds. So high ground up in this top lane. There are a lot of Lotus Orbs on the side of Danish bears, if anything.
Oh, they turned him into a rock. Alright, there we go. Are we gonna kick him into the fountain? No, sir. No cheese today. No, sir. No, no, no. But it does employ that BKB. So there is that. And the Lotus Orb, one thing to note as well, it removes the amplified damage. So they lose some free Rex here. Nothing done. Diggity, they might go for the gank here on that retreat, but no, Ace already out of there. Does have the Aegis ready for him as well. So Diggity are down to one side. And this Rapier has not paid off yet. Not given the chance to pay up. Yeah, their last stand. And it looks like the Danish bears are pushing in, and it's really tough to deal with a bear. Leonardo DiCaprio can tell you that. And an angry bear. It's a tough bear to deal with.
So much pressure as well onto Yapsor, Era, or Kezu to get the initiation off. Like every single time we've seen No Diggity have a good fight, it's been because they had excellent execution off of these three heroes. But this is their last chance. Oh, Arcane Room.
They're waiting for the Aegis actually. They just want to play it so safe. Danish bears showing Diggity the respect. I wouldn't say it's not needed, but it may be erring a little bit too safe. But then again, it's a Rapier atmosphere, so they want to keep things clean. You know, they want to make this a perfect execution. They want to make sure that there is no chance that Diggity can come back to this, because it's a single elimination, BO3, so every single win counts. The Summit 5, a big deal to attend, and I'm sure every EU team in this qualifier vying for it.
Absolutely. So it's just up to Danish bears on whether they decide to make a move now or not. More Ags as well. Who's the last one to not have Ags here? Is this just the replacement Ags for Night Stalker? I guess so. I think everyone else already has their Ags, so it's just Night Stalker to have his delivered.
Sell that Aghadams, buy an Octarine core, and there we go. We're in business. Permanite.
Permanite. Oh jeez. No Diggity. You can tell by their movements, they are just so afraid of losing it.
Hapless, that's the word, and well, Alchemist has been sitting on a lot of money for now. He's already given himself the booster shot, the Aghadam's vitamin shot, and sitting comfortably at 3,000 health points right now. The Alchemist Illusions already causing a big amount of trouble for Keizu and that Darkseer. So Diggity must be frustrating to just sit here and wait it out. Yeah.
Well, what can they do though? Like, if they try and go for a smoke gank, a super, super high risk, high reward sort of style of play, and they're trying to do this as safe as they can. And if anything, high ground defense is the way to go. They've just got the advantage in terms of initiation. I already pointed it out. They've got 3 heroes on their side that can make the plays happen. They just have to find the opening. But it's up again, up to Danish Bears on when they want to make this happen. It's oh Jesus.
Good stuff.
Not much you can do about that.
Yeah. Auto push, Jakiro OP. But we're now just sitting and waiting for possibly the end or a huge Divine Rapier crit. Either way, it could be game ending.
Absolutely.
Line's been drawn in the sand and the ace crosses it, says, I'm gonna go farm some ancients. And Rapier number 2.
Divine Rapier. Oh jeez.
Ooh, drop in the shoes. Who needs shoes when you can fly? Says Quakefa. Got double rapiers in hand now. Gonna be really dishing out some hurt. It's got 1,000 damage on him, so a crit here could be 2,000 each. So gonna be really looking forward to these. But DB are not gonna give them any quarter. Gonna just wait for the ages. Just wait it out.
Yapsor is going to have to be on point on making sure that Quafer is going to be okay in the fights. I suppose what he could probably be doing here is just turning Quafer to stone and kicking him back if anything, in case Quafer's in a lot of trouble. But they've got to be so on point. They need the perfect initiation. Oh, Jesus.
Easy fire.
Easy creep wave.
Well, that's what Quakefa said as well. But there's Jakiro getting really farmed now. The Shiva's Guard and Lotus Orb almost nullifying Era's presence in this game. Almost, I want to say.
Era really hasn't been able to do anything just because he's on the smarter. The hero doesn't farm that great in general. He wasn't able to transition into a Midas this game just because of the state of the game, especially during the early portions of that mid game. Like ideally he would have loved to pick up a Midas earlier so he was able to stay on top of his farm game, but he made the right decision sort of going for these other items. It's just, unfortunately, because of how the game went, not really able to recover. Still not over yet though. This is pretty much Era saying, okay Quafer, you have my blessing. Can you win this game for us?
Well, we'll see. I'm still waiting for the vacuum into Sleight of Fist, into Team Wipe. Is it gonna happen?
Basher done onto Joe.
Yeah,
Are they just gonna finish up their last items?
A Jump Abyssal could be very powerful as well. So that I think instead of getting a Alterine Core and being silly, he's gonna sell the Agadams, get the Agadams from the Elk, and then build up an Abyssal Blade, I think. Equal tankiness, because now it's a Vanguard component, I think. Well, I wouldn't say equal, but similar tankiness.
Yeah. So it's just a waiting game now. Just completely
55
depends
minutes. You did say, no, it's not gonna go to 60 minutes early on, but we're reaching there. We're getting there. Cast a Curse only applies to Syndron, but he's not enough to stop 9 other curses from working. Oh no, they find Noah, and that's good. No more long infernos for him. Will he get out there alive? Very tanky, this man. They will get him. Alright, there we go. Some Divine Rapier H. And they will actually take him out. He'll be down for 69 seconds. So that's the amount of time we're going to be waiting for Danish Bears to push up. But that's stalling up the ages, so that's always a good thing for Diggity. Less
to be
time
honest,
for DB to work on it.
I really don't think Danish Bears are going to push anytime soon.
No?
Okay, there we go. They were waiting for the Night Stalker's Abyssal Blade. Still got his axe, so I think he's gonna sell it now, right? Yes? Oh, okay, he's picked up.
Yeah, Abyssal Blade. Vanguard first, and then built
right.
the Abyssal Blade. Yebzor is a little bit far out. He has to be very careful about this. One thing I think the Alchemist forgot about was the Radiance clone from the Darkseer, so maybe you might want to look towards selling it. Yes, it will shut down his pushing farm, but I think maybe switching it out for Mjolnir may be the better option here if he wants to wants to avoid having the Radiance burn his team in the team fights. Because Darkseer, now that he has the Aghanim's, it's gonna make the illusions even stronger. But I think the main issue has always been the Radiance. I mean, the Radiance burn's annoying.
It's annoying, but this late into the game and with how tanky everyone on Danish Bear is, I don't think it's a problem anymore. It's just the only problem would have been is if the mischance was a huge factor. But Gyrocopter's got the MKB. Pinvenchek doesn't, but I don't really think he cares at this point. Like, he more or less is just acting as that frontliner with the Radiance burn for Danish Bears now. They're fully relying on Ace to be their physical right clicks now.
Yeah, and he's stacked. And one thing, he can use Quakefa's Divine Rapiers. So there is something for him to look forward to. Who will be the better hard carrying in the end? We'll have to see. Quakefa back straining real hard right now.
2 minutes on the Aegis as well, so for Danish Bears, if they want to use it, it's got to be now. And it looks like it's time.
Right, finally.
You seem relieved.
I mean, I just want to see the crits, come on! Do it! No, we'll see if anyone falls asleep to the Fiend's Grip. Oh, there's a jump crush in, there's a 2000 damage crit, but Era immediately gets gripped out. There is a Glimmer Cave to shut things down, there's a nice vacuum, Ace down already. Syndra disappears! Ping now chops down the wards there. Ace revives there in the backlines. Meanwhile, Night Stalker just zoning them all out of the base while they go for the ham. Go for the ham on these melee Raxes there. Very low on this melee Rax, 40 health. The Glyph will terminate. There is more zoning going up from this Night Stalker. Excellent play here from him. It's Mega Creeps. Diggity now living by a straw there. Quakefa gonna get silenced up. He will have to run away. The Lotus Orb applied on the Darkseer himself. But Ping, he doesn't care, they're just zoning him out, and now the Night Stalker is keeping them in the fountain. Rapiers or not, their choke point has been used up. Yamso calls good game. Quakefa goes in for the last play. Here comes the Ice Buff. He dodges that, but it's not going to be enough. As you have the Shiva's Guard come in, they pull the Ember Spirit back in there. The Abyssal Blade gets traded, but overall it's not enough. It's been a while coming now. Diggity gets taken out in game number 1, and they are just one match away from elimination by the Danish Bears. And, well, you could say you were not expecting such a result here.
Absolutely, I did not at all.
Well,
the Danish Bears, they really showed up in this game. And I feel like the huge contributing factor to this was they had the perfect early game. They had the Night Stalker and Jakiro completely decimating their lane. Even though there was the Earth Spirit and Darkseer combination in their off lane, the Gyrocopter wasn't really two-phased. He was able to still sustain in the lane, didn't die as much as poor Cinderin and Era did in that safe lane. So for Danish Bears, like, just that early game helped bring them to this 60-minute game. No Diggity. They've got to make something happen in game 2.
No, they certainly do, because like I said, single elimination, the Summit qualifiers, really brutal, and you really want to win this because it's a fun event and everyone wants to go. So we'll see if Danish Bears can take it 2-0. Will they live the dream, or will Syndred and friends bring it back in game number 2? 58 minutes it took for game number 1. What will game number 2 bring us? We'll see. Coming right back up on Beyond the Summit. I'm Lysander. This is Danelie Cast. You can follow us on our social media. We'll be right back for game number 2. Do stay with us. Much love and Kappa.